Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Skyline with Tempo Storm to bring you episode 6 of the Overwatch League Teamfight Spotlight. This one is between the Houston Outlaws and the Seoul Dynasty. This was played 2 days ago and it was one of the most exciting matches of the entire league so far. It was absolutely fantastic. So the Houston Outlaws were expected to lose. It was like an 80-20 odds for Seoul Dynasty to take this set. But you can see here that we're on Lijiang Tower. It's tied up 1-1. These are best of threes here in the Overwatch League. So it's match point. And the overall series is tied up 2-2. So Houston Outlaws are just 100% away from taking the entire map and pulling off a huge upset. Now, I'm not going to give away who wins it all in the end here, but I've got to say each one of these fights was so crucial and so close. And we're going to go over one of them right now. So we start off with the Outlaws losing the first fight. Dynasty currently has control over the point. And here we're going to see that the Outlaws actually have a really good initial push. They do a great job and they carry a lot of momentum very early on. We see, boom, this is a really crucial play here by Clockwork. He goes for a sneaky flank up here. This is the first time he's done it. And this generally only works once, but man, when it works, it works. You can see he's shooting down here, and who's over here? It's Toby. Look at that health bar. It's going, and gone. Toby is out of the fight. And Mercy, of course, the most important hero on your team, and not to mention the most important tank, or at least the anchor tank. Obviously, Zumba's pretty important too, but Miro dies as well on Reinhardt. So Dynasty goes down 2 heroes early on. Outlaws are up 6 heroes to 4. So they're looking great to take this fight. But Seoul Dynasty, they have some tools left. They have a few ults. They have the Graviton plus Riptire combo. And they also have the more important one, which is the Zenyatta ultimate. So here we're going to talk about what to do when you're down on control point. The key is to slow it down. You want to slow the fight down as much as possible. Just try not to die so that your players, your teammates can come back. In this particular case, Mercy can come back relatively quickly, and so can Reinhardt because they both have charges. And we're going to see that they do this really well here. So Zumba actually tries to use the Graviton. They try to combo it, but it gets eaten. It gets eaten by the Diva player. Coolmat eats the Graviton Surge, so that doesn't work out. But we're not quite done yet because Ryu Jae-hong uses Transcendence, and this is perfect because you can't be dealt damage through Transcendence, obviously, so you can't die. And after that, Fleta we see, so the Transcendence gone, but it's okay because Fleta, he focused down Clockwork with the Riptire. This is the perfect target to pick, especially because the Graviton Surge didn't work out. So now we have the when Clockwork was up, Transcendence was up, so he couldn't do any damage. And then once Transcendence went down, they took out Clockwork. So now there's still no damage. I mean, Jake can try, but Jake wasn't really landing bombs this particular day. So we see that still no real damage is dealt. Now eventually the res comes out on Clockwork when that lets Zumba finally die. You saw the rocket come out, but look at this. By then, Toby's back, he gets up Zumba, Miro's back, and actually, it's like nothing bad even happened. Both teams have used one Resurrect. Now, Dynasty had to use a lot of ultimates there, that's why they had the cushion, but overall, I mean, we're pretty even. We have 6 players up for Dynasty, all at full health, 6 players up for Outlaws, all at full health. Moon was ulting right now, so that's basically full health. In fact, Outlaws might even be down because Coolmat is out of his mech. So here, the Dynasty absolutely played perfectly. Great execution to keep themselves on the point and in the fight. So really, you know, all they've done is profited. They've stalled 25 seconds or so, plus they now have an even fight. So let's see what happens here. Now, this is a really crucial moment. Munchkin is up here, and Diva makes a great play. Look at that, Coolmat. He does a tremendous amount of damage, but not only that, but he also calls it out to the rest of his team. He calls out that the McCree is very low. And a great reaction time by Boink, of all people, he's going to turn around and finish it off with his Valkyrie pistol. So now, the Outlaws, despite having a little bit of a struggle during the middle part of the fight, do a good job bringing it back. And if we take a quick look back to see where they are, where the camera shows us that they are, pretty much all of the Outlaws are up there on the high ground. Now, we know that Munchkin is about to bite the dust. Munchkin is the primary way that the Dynasty can do any damage up here on the high ground. Of course, Jake on Junkrat on the high ground should have an advantage on Fleta on Junkrat on the low ground. And of course, they still have Clockwork, not to mention on the Outlaws, who can do long range damage. So if we trade away our useless Pilot Diva Coolmat for our very, very important key DPS Munchkin here on Dynasty, we'll see that Outlaws, with the position they have it really good. They should be able to take the fight at this point. So fantastic trade there with the help of all people, the Pilot Diva and the Mercy. But we see here is where Boink makes the fatal error that will wind up costing Outlaws the match. So you can see this little cluster of pixels here. That's actually Boink, the Mercy player. What he did was he flew over here to resurrect the Diva. It's very easy as Mercy because her ultimate is so strong, or at least it was so strong before it got nerfed. They're still playing on the Mercy patch in Overwatch League, but it was so strong that you figure you might as well just instantly res anyone who dies. In this case, it was a mistake by Boink. See, like we talked about before, the Outlaws were already in a great position. They didn't really need any additional help from resurrecting the Pilot Diva. Pilot Diva is really not that great to resurrect anyway because it takes so long for her to get back into the fight. We see though that Boink coming over here left his entire team. Jake, who was hurt, didn't get any healing, so he wound up dying as well. That wouldn't have happened if Boink didn't leave. And then Boink himself winds up eating some Rouge Hong balls. And that's going to be it for him. So just like that, boom, in 1 second, the snap of a finger, Outlaws lost their Mercy, they lost their Junkrat, they lost their Resurrect. But I mean, I guess they got Cool Matt in exchange. Cool Matt, it's not his fault, he just couldn't do anything in that position. So Dynasty, shockingly, wind up taking it, even though it looked like they had no chance. So I'll just let you now watch the entire fight, start to finish, so you can see everything with that perspective. But basically, what we can learn here is how effective you can really stall and get back to parity on control point after a bad start. And Seoul Dynasty shows this perfectly. And we also see, one of the things with Outlaws, you can't really blame them too much because it's very frazzling. You're in a weird state of mind when you win the fight, when you're winning the fight so hard, but because of how control point works, sometimes it sort of gets to parity in a situation you wouldn't expect. And so they wind up going for these, sort of rash plays because they think they need to close it out now because they have the advantage, or they're losing it or something. And, well, it didn't really work out for them. So on offense, you really need to keep your cool. If you start winning on control point, it's not nearly over yet, and we certainly see this with Outlaws. It's just one mistake ruins it all, even after such a strong head start. So anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what fights and what games you want to see in the future, and what content, of course. I think we have some more content creators coming to Tempo Storm pretty soon, so you get to see more videos per week, which should be pretty fun. That being said, I hope you all enjoyed once again, and I hope you all have a fantastic night. Never forget to stay positive, and I'll see you guys in the next one.